Hey, it's Matt from Black Coal Woodworking. Welcome back. Today I'm working with some maple. Got some delivered to my front step. Thank you very much. That was amazing. You know who you are. I'm using a 1/2 inch spindle gouge here to rough it down to round. For the foot, I'm going to use my biggest jaws I have. I think that's around 5 inches. Then I've got to take down the rest of the wood by the tailstock. Yeah, I had some bark on there, so it's a little bit rough, but sharpening the tool a little more often makes it cut nicely. This wood is actually pretty dry, but roughing it down is probably one of the most fun things to do. The wood also gets really hot. You'll see here that's hitting my finger a lot, and me moving away there, that hurt. It was actually a cut. That's why I like wearing gloves sometimes. So, from the remainder of the video, I think I wear a glove on that hand. If you're squeamish, you might want to look away a little bit. That's what it does. I had left the pith on this piece of wood, so I've got to take it out now because you cannot leave the pith in the bowl, otherwise the bowl is guaranteed to crack. Switching back to the bottom, time to refine the foot a little bit. I am planning on leaving a bit of a foot on the bowl, and now I'm going to start to set myself up to create a bit of a rim. I like these rims as they tend to be a little bit more decorative, yet functional. It's a nice way to hold it, and I think it just looks nice. So I tend to make a lot of bowls with rims like this. Here I've rolled my spindle gouge over to cut with the right side of the nose, and you get kind of a shear cut and those nice fine shavings coming off for proof. When you see that, you know you've got a great cut going, and it really means less sanding. This piece of maple has a lot of spalting as well, so the cleaner the cut I can make, the better. But who likes sanding? It's always better if you can get rid of the sanding. To refine the shape of the bottom of the bowl, I'm using my 1-inch flat scraper as it gives me a little bit more control over the shape of the bowl. Now it's time to finish that foot. The foot is still too thick in the middle, so I'm using my 1/2 inch spindle gouge to trim that down, and then it's really time to narrow down that little nub. It's a giant nub right now, but it's going to become little. And the battle in my head is always, how little is too little? Because you don't want the whole bowl falling off the lathe, so you kind of play a little game and see if you win. I really think I let myself get a little bit too brave on this one. I probably should have left it a bit thicker until I've done all the sanding and all the finishing, and then take the rest of that nub down. Do you see the purple? This bowl has purple. I mean, I knew red was in maple, but purple, like that's actually a fairly brilliant purple. So the finish I'm using here is walnut oil to help bring that color out and make it pop. And then I will be adding some shellac, and that will seal the wood a little further, actually quite nicely. Give it a bit of a French polish so that the spalting feels a little smoother. And then I add the beeswax on top of that, because then it's butter. And there you have my, what I call, perfect finish. Let's see if the inside is as nice as the outside. The first thing I have to do is continue to remove the pith. This time I'm using a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. I'm going to use my handy little drill bit to give me a bit of a depth hole. It's also easier to start hollowing out a bowl if you don't have to take out that very center piece, which really doesn't move a whole lot. When I get near the outside of the rim, what I do is undercut the rim a little bit so that it's nicer to hold. You can stick your thumb in the bowl as you grip it and it just feels right. For the rim itself, I tend to round the last quarter of it toward the outside and then give it a swoop toward the inside so it kind of lets whatever might fall on the rim generally fall back in the bowl. It's also part of the curve of how it fits in the hand. This particular rim, I had still left a little bit thick, so I'm going to go back to undercutting it again. Now that the rim is done, time to hollow out the rest of the bowl. Of course, when I get to the outside of the rim again, I've got to make sure I'm following that undercut and also the curve of how it connects to the bottom of the bowl. To get the rest of the bottom, I'm going to use this scraper. I think it's a French curve scraper. I think I've heard it called that. Not 100% sure. All I know is it's heavy and it cuts well, and that's what I need. This is the tricky cut right here, trying to get that bottom curve just right. I end up refining that a lot. The inside finish is going to be the same as the outside. Again, walnut oil, shellac, and beeswax. Yeah, I think that's one thing that'll never get old with maple is all those colors. That's just phenomenal. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. It was fun for me. Shoot me a comment and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And if I've earned your subscription, thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.